Peace, this is Star with the Star of Blooms. Happy Monday. That's actually pretty significant. I'm sitting with this because I don't know why, like right before I started, it's just like everything kind of just got super quiet. I wanted to start a series about why you were away. There's this rate of connecting to the ones within. The ones who have rooted is what I'm hearing. You ever have like a weekend? Sometimes longer than that. A weekend, if it's like a parent, like they leave, they come back and they kind of want to know what you've been doing since they've been gone. A grandmother, grandfather who you haven't seen in years. Want you to get them caught up on how you've carried over. That's what I'm feeling. This rate of relaying the message of what's transpired, but also connecting to intertwine the timelines that may have either collided, collapsed, or transformed in the absence or in the wake of dreaming, Things that may or may not be possible, but always desired for, wish for, dreams. I believe that the cycles for a lot of energies have been coming together at a rate based off of how you've been willing to transform the work that you've been doing towards your foundation to be able to be in representation of the new beginnings on the spiritual path that you were taking in order for you to truly harvest towards what it is that you desire. Sometimes it could be weird. 244. Yeah, that's so crazy. At the bottom of the deck, it says harvest. Reaping results, gathering rewards, collecting what has been sown, whether efforts, emotions, or consequences. Listen, Spirit, I just said that. So, for me, this energy came through as connecting to like just the representation of all the healing that you've done. I took a second, y'all, and the reason why I be taking a second sometimes is because I recognize when I don't, you don't know sometimes who it is that's trying to basically get you to. All thought processes aren't yours. I'll say it that way. And you have to be at the rate, I'm sitting at the top of this deck, intuition. You have to be at the rate to where you're willing to represent your intuition and refuse to basically connect to other people in telepathy, to who decide and who are wanting to inflict on your inner knowing. You have to be willing to be in representation of what truth is necessary to come through. So thank you to benevolent ancestors of the highest light who are connecting with me at this time in the sign. Align to me as I connect to my higher self. Thank you to Archangel Michael, who is cloaking, shielding, and protecting me in my auric field, canceling any and all contracts, intentions, thought processes, and projections that are being sent to myself and my collective at this time. Yeah, as we revoke, rescind, and burn off any and all etheric attachments, canceling any and all ability to connect within our auric field to monitoring spirits. Thank you to the Most High for allowing us to channel clearly without any interferences, disruptions, for our highest good and our discernment with self. Abracadabra, make it so, I say Asheo. So for me, I was basically connecting to spirit in a rate of recognizing how much work I've already done, and how there's this desire to constantly want you to believe that there's always one more thing. You're not being able to do what it is that you desire to do just because of how you've been programmed to believe things have to be done. Or even just being able to be present within your presence and being in recognition of what your physical looks like based off of how you perceive the rate of what it is that you basically have put in to basically be programming your world. Confirmation. I was speaking to my team and I was saying how there's so much at the root of it that you have to basically be willing to basically kind of sit with in a rate of not tough love, but recognition beyond the recognition of it, beyond how you have the ability to foresee or have a forecast of what it is. You know, it's just the ability to basically be and continue to be regardless of whatever it is that's coming up against you. It's the removal of the fear of failure, you know, which allows you to start actually taking the steps that are necessary in order for you to be able to do the thing. And I guess when I got to this rate of it, I recognized, oh, I'm basically having a conversation. It's almost like, you know, what I would say to certain loved ones if I had the opportunity to basically sit with them, how I've been able to basically carry over in this energy since they've basically transitioned 949, since they've, you know, created this space where I feel like I had to grow up because I didn't have them in the rate that I would have perceived them to basically have been present and consistent throughout my journey. The reality of not wanting to figure out the new way to do things based off of the desire to have it the way that you may have wanted it to be in your head. It's basically just accepting the reality versus wanting to continue to perpetuate the illusion. And one of the cards that I got of my healing deck was one spirit guide, one way. And this is the message. And then I'm going to basically get into the channel messages that I have basically been writing down. The message was, clear your mind of all conflicting knowledge and trust the path you have chosen. Soon you will be moving forward more spiritual. Let's read that again. Clear your mind of all conflicting knowledge and trust the path you have chosen. And soon you will be moving towards more spiritual practices. This is a time for you to trust your spirit guides to get you to the next level of your life. You have put in a lot of hard work already. But once you have turned the next corner, your path will open up and your way will be clear. Trust your spirit guides right now. So someone's asking the question of if they're doing what they need to be doing. Are they properly, thank you, Spirit, are they properly carrying the light, you know? And I feel like this is Spirit's rate of basically telling you to keep calm and keep going. Yeah. And receive the spiritual grip. The spiritual hug. Ooh. The spiritual hug that's come to you. Yeah. And the secure rate that you've allowed yourself to be anchored in, to be in. That word anchored has been big lately because of the representation that it shows within. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves to anchor in certain thought processes because we don't want to be complete in our moral compass. We don't want to have like a core concept of how we want things moving forward because we have to constantly be in this rate of being a representation of all the work that we've done, all the movements that we've taken, and how things are constantly changing and cultivating for us. So sometimes it gets difficult when you get to a certain rate within yourself on your journey of being in representation of certain anchors that you will have with you. I believe that you can find those in truth and representation of what it is within you. And it's the ones within that have come, I believe, in this time, within this cycle that we've been in energetically with the alignment of certain collective agreements, which is like the 8-8 portal, certain things like that. It's really, really been about you connecting to oneself, the deeper connections within your bloodline and your lineage. But continue to trust your guides, move forward, and know that all this